I'm sure you've all heard of content marketing, but empathy maps may be fairly new to you. Let's walk through how empathy maps are your key to producing great content. Here's a quick rundown of what we're going to cover. First, what the heck is an empathy map? And one thing I want to point out is this will be beneficial for both independent business owners and digital marketers. We'll then cover how you can leverage them to create engaging content and increase your credibility. Lastly, we'll walk through how to build an empathy map. Content is king. Again, I'm sure you've heard that before too. Content can take the form of a blog, a valuable guide, even a quiz on your website. Either way, your goal is to provide value in exchange for your audience's attention. No matter what online or offline channels you're leveraging, you'll need to create great content if you want to stand out from the crowd. Seth Godin has gone as far to say, content marketing is the only marketing left. He said that back in 2008, so I wouldn't go quite that far, but content marketing is a great way to connect with your audience before asking for some sort of conversion. One of my biggest hangups with digital marketing is the overabundance of purely transactional content. We sell stuff. You're in our target audience. Buy our stuff. That doesn't work. We see ads all the time, and we ignore most of them. That's because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. This is an issue I often encounter with freelancers and consultants as well. Instead of trying to partner with a potential customer or client, they treat everything like a business transaction. Creating content gives you the opportunity to show some of your personality and position yourself as a valuable partner as opposed to just another vendor. You could be an expert with X years of experience, but nobody cares. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Okay, enough of the quotes. Let's get into it. Content marketing is focused on creating valuable and relevant content for your audience. The keywords here are valuable and relevant. In this session, we'll cover how to initially create the content. The image here is commonly referred to as the honeycomb of value. It lists several aspects that reflect valuable content. Is your content helpful, such as a resource guide? Is it entertaining, maybe a funny meme? It could also be educational. For example, a white paper about how new regulations are impacting a specific industry. Your content doesn't need to include all of these elements, but if you can check off a few boxes, you're in good shape. However, we can't create this content without knowing what makes our audience tick. An empathy map is a tool to help you gain a deeper insight into your target audience. What do they do on the weekend? What books do they read? Do they even read books? Maybe it's more of a podcast audience. Either way, the more you know about your audience, the better prepared you'll be to create content they'll engage with. Now, personas are meant to help us describe who our audience is, but empathy maps go much further. Here's a template for a buyer persona. I'm sure this is much more familiar to you. Typically, personas contain information about your audience's background, their demographics, and give some insight into their behavior. Now, here's the template for an empathy map. As a heads up, I provided a copy of this template for you. There are 4 quadrants. What do they hear, think and feel, see, say and do? There are also 2 columns below for their pains and gains. For think and feel, we're focusing on what really counts for them, as well as their major preoccupations. What do they see? This can be their environment, as well as their worldview. What do they say and do? This part focuses on their behavior and attitude. What do they hear? This can be their friends, influencers, or even their environment. At the bottom, we have their pains and gains. For pain, as it relates to your product or service, what might turn them off or make them not want to engage? For gains, what would be considered a win for them? Now, let's take a look at an empathy map for my audience. In addition to digital marketing consulting, I also coach independent business owners, such as freelancers or consultants. My goal is to show them how they can effectively scale their business without sacrificing time from their family, friends, or other outside interests. The people I work with are already motivated, but they need help channeling that motivation into profitable and scalable results. I help them develop business goals as well as the process and roadmap aligned with achieving these goals. Beyond that, I provide tactic level input on how they can stop trading time for money and focus on impact. Here's an example of an empathy map for my audience. What do they hear? Your rates are too high. Or, can you get it done by tomorrow? Their friends are telling them you need to take a vacation, and their influencers are Tim Ferriss or Ryan Holiday. What do they think and feel? I can't go back to wearing a suit. Or, I hope this proposal gets approved. I cannot keep trading time for money, and I have control of my own destiny. What do they say and do? Well, they pitch potential clients, and they say your network is your net worth. They also attend meetups and post on LinkedIn. What do they see? Well, they see their peers from college getting promoted, and they see business people sitting at lunch. They see opportunity in every experience as well, and a new co-working space is being built around the corner. In a moment, I'll show you how I can leverage that information for an upcoming webinar I'm leading. This webinar will teach you how to create opt-in content to attract the right people to your email list. As a spoiler alert, you want to focus on quality, not quantity. But first, another one of my hangups is when companies ask you to join their email list without giving any immediate and tangible value in exchange. Again, this is applicable to independent business owners as well as organizations. But if you can state, here's this content and here's how you'll benefit from it, you've already proven value in what you have to offer. This could be as simple as an athletic apparel company offering tips on how to exercise during the winter. Okay, so here's how I could leverage information from my empathy map on the landing page my audience would see before signing up for my webinar. You take pride in your work, but aren't willing to sacrifice time from your family like you did at your previous job. You get up early every morning and hop on LinkedIn looking for prospects. While you're searching for your next project, you're seeing posts from college friends who keep getting promoted. You can't go back to wearing a suit every day, but the grind is getting to you. Are you sick of taking on clients who haggle about your rate, but still want everything done yesterday? Attend my workshop to learn how you can create opt-in content that will attract the right clients who value you as a business partner, not just a freelancer. Again, I'm referencing specific sections of my empathy map and working that into the narrative. I'm sure some of you who work as a freelancer connect with the content. Okay, let's look at this from a different perspective. IDK Tonight is a website couples visit to discover date night suggestions. It's easy to let things get stagnant in a relationship. IDK provides curated date nights, which are reviewed by real couples. Here's an example of what their empathy map could look like. What do they hear? We need to get out more. Or, do you want to do something Friday night? They also hear, can you work late Friday night? And they read the 5 love languages. What do they think and feel? Sometimes it feels like we're roommates, not partners. And when are we going to buy a house? They also feel like they're glad they have someone who understands them. And I forgot our anniversary again. What do they say and do? Do you want to order Seamless? And this isn't just a job, I'm building my career. They do CrossFit or yoga, depending on their mood, and they read about upcoming concerts in Brooklyn. What do they see? Wow, every couple on Instagram looks so happy. But they also see some of their friends are getting divorced, and they see a new restaurant open in Brooklyn. They also see the perfect outfit for their partner. Now, here's how this could translate into website content. Remember when going on a date Tuesday night didn't seem like a recipe for a horrible Wednesday? You know every relationship takes work, but it's easy to let your career and other commitments get in the way of spending time with your partner. You're busy enough as it is. That's why we're here to take the guesswork out of what you should do when you finally have time to go out. IDK Tonight is a couple's guide to date nights along with real reviews by real couples. Focus on enjoying time together, not playing another round of, I don't know, what do you want to do? This same information could also be used to create short-form content on social media. Don't play another round of, I don't know, what do you want to do? Let IDK Tonight curate the perfect date for you and your partner. You could even create a fun quiz that asks couples how well they know their partner. Assuming this doesn't start any beef, you could then suggest a few upcoming dates after they complete the quiz. So now, let's talk about how you can actually build this thing. First, you want to avoid letting your own bias influence what goes into the map. If possible, you want to start with doing a survey or assembling a focus group. Getting a direct response to open-ended questions is often the best way to populate your map. If it's an option, you can also query your sales or customer support team. What use cases and needs are they hearing from your audience? You can do the same on your end too. What are you hearing from prospects and customers? What's the feedback you're hearing when you pitch your services? Listen with intent. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. We can also leverage social listening. Initially, this may be your most abundant or only source of information. Let's take a look at how a company like Squarespace could use this approach. Squarespace is a great option for entrepreneurs and small businesses that want to build a great looking site without a lot of coding background. In this post, they're advertising a new offering, Squarespace email campaigns. A potential customer is asking if you can create automated and drip campaigns using Squarespace. Drip campaigns are a sequence of lead nurturing emails. Automating the process is ideal given the number of subscribers and emails you may have. Notice how we can use this small piece of information to start building our empathy map. What do they hear? Work smarter, not harder. What do they think and feel? I can't keep trading time for money. What do they say and do? Well, they automate as much as possible. And they see tons of new apps that help with process improvement. You can also do social listening by visiting groups and threads your audience may be active on. Reddit and Tumblr are a great option for this approach, especially if you don't have a large social following. And looking at this example, I'm checking out the entrepreneur community on Reddit. Notice one of the most popular threads is titled, "If you're not using automation, you're wasting your time and money." We can take this as a pretty strong signal that entrepreneurs value automation. And why wouldn't they? When time is money, you need to automate as much as possible. This is another focus of my business coaching. Listening with intent helps you better understand your audience's needs and pain points. Check this out though. Automated campaigns aren't currently available with Squarespace email. Based on what we've learned about their audience, I'd say this is a pretty big miss, and I suspect that feature will be made available in an upcoming release. Imagine what you can discover about your audience by listening with intent. How could you leverage that information to improve your content as well as your product or service. It's important to note that your empathy map is a living document. You want to validate it by testing. Does this copy work better than this copy? You can also leverage customer surveys to continue querying your audience. And you'll want to revise your map based on additional data or customer insights. Beyond that, markets and industries change over time. Be sure to adjust as needed. The overwhelming theme here is to develop a customer-centric approach. Content marketing is an extremely unselfish form of marketing, and it's how you're going to stand out from the crowd. Focus on providing value, not just getting the sale. So what's next? You can join my next live empathy mapping and content marketing webinar. We'll take a deeper dive into the process of creating content and using it for content marketing. I'll also leave plenty of time for Q&A. Ready to get started now? You can purchase my full empathy mapping and content marketing course. I'll provide several useful guides and checklists for your reference. You can also contact me one-to-one for business coaching or digital marketing consulting. I look forward to hearing from you.